So this is honestly my favorite part, and it's because I get to teach you how to make a cheese board and be all fancy. But also, I think this is like other people's favorite part because they get to eat all of the fun stuff.
Yes.
We're doing just a regular cheese and charcuterie board today.
Okay.
And this is like our normal, we call this our intimate affair. It actually feeds 4, but like, let's be real. If you're having a night, this is just for you.
It'll be for me.
Yeah, an intimate affair by yourself or also with like your partner. So you have that option. But what we're gonna do first is I always say like the kiwi, all of the cutting, we wanna get that out of the way.
Okay.
So we're gonna focus on that first and then we'll get into the other stuff. Usually because when people are doing this, they're drinking, but we've already been drinking. So
Yeah.
there's that. But we're gonna actually create like a star.
Okay.
So what we're gonna do is we're going to take our knife and we're going to go about a little more than halfway in, and then you're gonna pull out and you're gonna move over a centimeter and do the same thing.
Okay.
And what we're doing is just creating lines all the way around our kiwi.
Okay. Centimeter is a pinky's width. I learned that in 6th grading.
I'm gonna use that now.
Uh-huh. The only thing I learned in 6th grade.
I'm like, what do you even do in 6th grade?
Exactly.
Like, I have no clue. And then,
Okay.
now that we have it all around, now we're gonna connect these 2 points. So now we're gonna put this together, and then that way, and then that. And now that we're connecting the 2.
See, working mom, I don't even have time to do my nails again.
You know, that's why I put gloves on, so nobody can tell. And then you're gonna open it, and it's gonna look like that.
Oh. Ooh.
See? Fancy.
Right.
So I am so excited that we're talking about this topic because literally we met because of panels. I don't even remember which panel. I feel like we've been on multiple panels
Yeah.
now. But last time I was on a panel with you, it was at PCC, and they were like, name one myth of like business. And literally in my mind, I was like, balance does not exist. And you were like, you took that mic and you were like, there is no such thing as balance. And so when I was like thinking about our chat today, I was like, there's only one person that I can have this conversation with. And I'm so excited to kind of talk about what that looks like. I think in general, there's just like so much around people when you're a mom and or a caretaker, and then also like an entrepreneur on like, oh, the best way to make it work is like when there's balance, and it's doesn't exist
No.
like at all.
No, not at all.
Yeah,
It's an honor to be here. I'm so excited to be in this space.
I know. And I'm like, I said I was gonna do it, and now we're doing it, and
We're doing it.
it's exciting. But yeah, I'd love to talk a little bit about when it comes to like balance, what you really like when you hear it, like what does that make you like feel, and like how I feel like it's like cringe, like when people are just like,
Yeah.
oh, especially, oh, this is like the point when people are like, oh, you need to find balance. I hate when I'm on panels with people and then they say it and I just want to be like, it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
So it was so nice, like where I was like, okay, I like this conversation. Yeah.
Yeah. It actually infuriates me when people tell me that I have to balance. You don't know me. You don't know what I just came from. You don't know what phone call I just finished. Right? You don't know all the facets of my identity that also carry and want to lead when stressful situations come that I'm not necessarily proud of sometimes, right? But so this idea of balance for me, I'm a first-gen immigrant, so I really connected to that, right? Like the work ethic of an immigrant, like the American dream, all that. I'm 48 years old and still decolonizing from that stuff. From the idea of what success is, right? The more my calendar is The more colorful my calendar, the more successful I am. I am
Mm.
still struggling with that. So now I just make it colorful by putting like nothing on my actual calendar, or like break, or like walk. Um but yeah, but to answer your question is the idea of asking women and women of color to balance, I think it's insulting. People should be asking, what do you need?
Yeah, I think it's funny because earlier we were talking about this. When somebody says, "You got this," I fucking hate it. Like the next person who tells me that, I just like wanna like throat punch them because it's like sometimes that is just as like it's kind of the same thing as like you just gotta balance it. Like you got this. All you gotta do is do this and do that and all that. And so I had this like I had this motto and just in general that like I'm unbalanced and I'm unbothered.
Mm-hmm.
And like that is just the way that I live my life. And for the longest time too, I talked about like it's not about balance, it's about integration.
Yeah.
Um, and then I was on a retreat literally this past week and I had like a moment of like, it's not a like for me, it's not about integration. It really is about containment
Mm.
and creating containers for things.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I integrate, then I'm doing 50% of being a mom and 50% of being a business owner. And I'm like, this isn't working for me either. And I lived my life for like the past year just being like, integration is like, that's the way to go. And if it wasn't for integration, I wouldn't have gotten to the place of containment.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like having that container of this is a very clear and stop like process. And kind of like we were talking about earlier, the importance of boundaries
Yeah.
and really creating containers for things of like, no, I don't take phone calls after 6 p.m. because that is not that I'm in my family container right now
Yeah.
and they get 100% of me because I can't give, like, I don't want to half ass momming,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
We can't.
Uh, I mean, I can't because I've been doing it, but
People do, you're right. People do.
but it's like now that my kids are getting older too, they call me out a lot more about me half-assing. So like, mom, I'm telling you a story and you're not listening, you know? But I think like I don't want to do that in my business. Like, and I don't want to do that with my kids. So how do I really create a space for everything and then create the boundaries to break them up?
It's so funny because when it comes to balance, I replace balance with harmony
Mm.
and flow, like very much like a song, right? Like sometimes you go really, really hard on home life and it requires 90% and work requires 10. Sometimes we work in social impact, right? So sometimes there is rapid response that the community needs information on. So that week, work might be 90 and 10. And so I think like the harmony, if it's a flow, that's when I feel like I'm okay. So this idea of balance is like, no, sometimes I'm walking like this, and I'm cool and I'm good with that because I can do that. The you got this thing too as a young 17-year-old Corolla is like, oh, it's when people would tell me like, oh my gosh, you have such resiliency. Like, let's build your resiliency. That's what people would tell me. And then I would remember thinking, I'm like, I am resilient, dude. I can't, like, my whole family is here. We went through a lot. And so I don't need anybody to empower me or build resilience for me as a youth. Right. And so that's actually one thing that I took to me in my youth development career is like, I'm not going to give these kids that. They have that. My job is to create a container for them to be who they need to be.
I didn't even think about it that way. Somebody said you got this to me the other day, and I was just like, I felt it felt demeaning.
Yeah.
It felt like, oh, you're cute, you got this.
Uh-huh.
And I was kind of like, we're the same. Like
Yeah.
especially in this industry, I feel like I am younger in comparison. There's a lot of times where they're like, oh, you'll get it when you get older. And it's just like, okay.
Because a youth developer is one of the things that are like, we underestimate youth. No, they already got it. We don't need to wait till they get older for them to get it. And that's one of the issues. Well, we have a whole nother podcast about that. About the youth voice and choice in our society. And it's non-existent. That and elders. I don't know what happened. Every other part of the world honors them and
Yeah.
right and takes care of them. So But on the point of also integration, which is weird, because when you were talking about integration, about honoring your different identities and honoring them as like individuals, like this is, I'm gonna call, like have this compartment, right? Containment. I am a breast cancer survivor. So integration to me means a little bit something different. Like I disassociate. So I just in times of crisis, I've learned that I just operate with my brain, not my heart or my body.
Mm.
And as a woman of color, our bodies, I've learned, especially this last decade, how much wisdom we carry. And so integration to me means honoring all parts of my identity without any without any shame in any place. So that is little questions that I ask myself when I'm feeling stressed or dysregulated. I just breathe and I ask myself, like, what do I need more or less right now?
Mm.
And whatever part of my identity, whether it's the mom or the worker, entrepreneur, will need, like, I need some more water right now.
Mm.
I need to walk. I need to just take a breather. I need to get out from my seat. So that's what integration means to me. It's not carrying it all. Is like drip slowness, drip drops of wisdom at hand. And that's how like I can be integrated, so I don't feel compacted.
I love that.
Yeah.
All right. So now that we have that, that's literally the hardest part of like
Okay.
all of this. Next we're gonna kind of move into our tangerines. We make this really simple. We just cut it in half, just like this. The goal is to have different textures,
Okay.
right? And so see how we have like the nice like
Yeah.
points, and then right there we have the
Smoothing.
smooth, yeah.
And juicy.
And then now we're moving over to the fun part, which is all of our meats and our cheeses. We have all of this good stuff. So Step Ladder gets a shout out all the time. So this is actually the first creamery we ever worked with. This is like a small format brie. It's like the quick way to say it, but this is literally, I'm gonna literally cut a little piece for you. I'm gonna have you try it right now. The best cheese ever created. I feel that with like all of my soul. But oh, nice and like, let's do them nice little like.
Let's see.
Right. So we're gonna take that and we're actually just gonna put it right on our board. So you can even take that and nobody will even notice. Because what we do is we just put this right over it.
Oh, nice.
Though nobody notices. And then we're gonna take our cheddar and we're gonna just break this up into like little pieces.
Like crumble it up?
Crumble it. So first we put our cheeses down and our meats down. That's our foundation, and then we start to build around that. And I also heard that this pairs really nicely with that Pilsner that we were drinking earlier. And then next we are going to make our salami rolls, because there's not much you need to do to this. This is all good to go. This is our honey whipped ricotta. We make it in-house. So all we're really gonna do is take it, smooth it out a little bit, and then basically put a little swirl in it. And that's where our honeycomb is gonna go inside of that.
Okay.
Because no board is complete without honeycomb. And then we are going to create our meat rows. So I'm gonna give you this, but I'm gonna take this, and basically what we're gonna do is,
Poison out like my grandma used to say.
oh yes, make sure. We can't get this to anybody.
For everybody, yeah.
And then you're gonna roll this like a cigarette, or
A J.
yeah, just depends on who I'm talking to. I don't know,
Join.
you know. And then once it goes around in a circle, you're gonna take the other piece of salami, and what we're doing is basically creating petals.
Okay.
And so then now we take this, goes in the middle, and wrap. And then once there's like this gap, see how there's a gap?
Yeah.
Then what we start to do is create like petals by doing one right here, and see where my finger is. I'm going to do another one right here. Now my finger stops here. I go over just a little bit, build the next petal, and so forth and so on. And I take it again, build the petal right there. And you're basically taking all of these and just creating petals. Really simple, really easy.
This is great for little hands too. Like,
oh, I love doing this with kids. Yeah. Also, their interpretation of it is always fun.
How big do we go? We just keep going?
Keep going. It's gonna fit in there.
Okay.
We want a nice full rose.
You know, my daughter is Harper Rose.
It's beautiful. My niece's name is Marley Rose.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
After her other mom is Mocha Rose.
That's beautiful.
And what's your son's name?
Mikhail.
Mikhail.
And my daughter's name is Mikey. And then this is like, has enough fat that it like holds together.
Mine's like a tulip.
Yeah, it does look like a tulip. But as you're like going to, so like now that you have this, you can take it and just.
Oh, okay, okay.
So there you go. Keep going with those petals. And you get a rose, something like that.
Nice.
And I love this because it's like easy to take the pieces out. Or like some of the other roses, they like don't come out.
Yeah.
It's just like a simple pull. Simple pull. You're all good. I think that's probably hard.
Carola.
Yeah, no, like some people just like don't say, like they try.
Oh, girl. Toyota Corolla, Crayola crayons. If you're as old as me, people will say like Stanza or Corolla, like different cars, you know? Like, so
Cute.
So it was actually like in my 30s when I was like, no, my name is Carola and I own it because I came when I was 12 from Peru, and so I was just trying to assimilate like there's no other.
I get Kay and Kai all the time.
Yeah.
And then I get people who tell me my name's spelled incorrectly. And I'm like, okay, it's Kay. Like the letter. But I'm like, where were we?
Just like I think we're talking about integration, and it's been a privilege for me, and I have a deep spiritual belief system, not necessarily connected to any organized religion, that has I believe that spirit has put people in my path to just say like, it's okay for you to pause and think about this. And or it's okay for you not to do this, or why are you doing this, and to really reflect on that, because I think choosing to parent young humans, you choose to sacrifice some of your autonomy, your time, and but I feel like I have a community around me of people that remind me that it's okay to go as slow as I need to be. And that doesn't mean like I'm failing.
That's beautiful.
Right?
I think like for me, I don't even think about that. I think about like, or I haven't really thought about, now I'm thinking about it. But I think it's like, it's so nice being around like your energy because it's so steadying. And I think there are so many times, it was funny because like I walked in here this morning and we usually do like 3 episodes a day. And they're like, hey, Kay, how are you? And I was just like, But I was like so happy that I had the people that I had today. Because like I've said before, is like having people around, like as you're creating like because you're giving up so much of your life for kids, for entrepreneurship, all of those things on top of being surrounded by people that you may not want to be around, being able to be surrounded by people who like truly feed you is like, it has been so key, but also that honor your boundaries
Mhm.
is like another thing. And so like also hearing from the perspective of like it's okay to do things as slow as I want when I feel like for my whole life I've been like you have to take the opportunities. You got to go 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 go
Yeah.
go. You got to hustle. You got to like figure out all of this and it's like I grew up in like hustle culture. But on top of it it's like being a woman of color the hustle culture, like it's embedded in us.
It
Like
is, girl. Oh my God.
it's like if you can't do that, then you're not worthy. And I think it's so comforting knowing that there are so many of us that are like, no, fuck that. I'm not doing that
Yeah.
anymore. That's not how I'm going to run my business. That's not how I'm going to show up every single day. It's literally killing me. Like, and I am slowly watching myself like be depleted. Um, but it's like sometimes you need that person to tell you like it's okay
Mm.
to do that because you have so many other people telling you that it's not okay,
Yeah.
especially in the environment that we are in right now. It's so magnified how not okay it is to do these things according to other people.
Yeah. I mean, dude, we come like, I grew up in the same household as my great grandma. So three women proving, and this was in Peru. And it's so funny because I, when I was a young professional starting my career, youth development, community organizing, it was like go, go, go. If you didn't go, if you didn't go to this event, if you didn't show up for this community thing, like you were not good enough of a
Mm.
leader, or you did not have the you didn't love the community enough.
Mm.
And that, I'm a Gemini, that got to me. And so it was constantly trying to prove myself. And then it was in 2020, in the midst of COVID, where I feel like I'm grateful because I had cancer cells to stop me.
Mm.
And by the grace of spirit, it was, we caught it early. We were able to handle it. Um, but if it wasn't for those cells, I would not have stopped.
Mm.
I would have kept going.
Mhm.
And it allowed me to reflect on, well, what is it? I love my culture. I love the lineage of strong women I have in my life. But why is it that we still all have this energy? But I'm here now in LA, right? And so it's that permission to say like, okay, like let's really analyze this energy and what do we need to take from it? What do we need to leave? And what are we gonna pass on to our kids?
Yeah, I mean, on that topic, it's like generationally,
Yeah.
right? I had this like moment like of clarity early on. Well, at the end of last year of like, I am the way I am because of my mom,
Mhm.
because of my grandma, and because of my great grandma,
Mhm.
who will give anything for anybody.
Yep.
And at some point, we have to say no. And like, I'm watching these people like give everything to everybody. And then it's like, we don't have generational wealth because you didn't know how to save. You didn't know how to say no. And then I'm having this conversation with my mom, and my mom's like, well, I mean, why wouldn't you? And it's that conversation of like, I get so worried, especially with social impact work, that I'm not doing enough
Mhm.
when it's like I literally have nothing else to give, but yet I still feel like I'm not giving enough. Like, that's like
Yeah.
crazy to even think. Um, and then when I have like other people around me who say no, right? Or like, no, I can't do that. I get like this feeling inside of me like, oh my God, like how horrible of you. Or that's how I used to get. Now I'm kind of like, wait, maybe I'm doing too much. Maybe I need to stop. Um, or maybe I just need to be more intentional about how I spend my energy and my time.
Yeah. I think it's this space, this conversation is proximity. The more proximate we are with each other, I think the more trust there is. So then when people say no, you don't question it. You question when you don't know people, when you don't know their intent, when you don't know their values, when you don't know where they stand. Your best friend, if she says no, you don't question it.
No.
A colleague, vendor, they say no, you'd be like, hey man, but the community needs you.
Mm.
Right? So it's just really like reflecting on what is it at the core that we need. And this idea of like, I'm gonna give it all to the community and yet I'm not doing enough, man. That is, I think, part also of a bigger cultural issue that we have in the nonprofit community organizing, community development sector, and anything adjacent to that. That, man, that's those white supremacist tenants, capitalist tenants. We don't need that. And I think that's just what's cost a lot of leaders to burn out, to not know how to pass the wisdom in a healthy way to the next generation of leaders, to gatekeep, and to work so hard at the expense of their own bodies.
Mm-hmm.
And so now we're in a place, I think, that I'm an elder in the making, and I'm trying to encourage our elders to like, do take a beat. Let's have these more retreats. Let's have a gathering. Let's just get proximate. Let's just break bread. Let's just dance, together. Let's have a 15-minute massage. And so I think it's an honor to be part of just that little drop of kind of shifting the culture of that.
Yeah, I think that's what needs to happen is there's a whole culture shift that needs to happen.
And it's slow. And it's slow and it's beautiful. Like I totally could have a picture of my grandma's sink in Peru that you couldn't quite like turn it all off, and it's just like one drop at a time. That's what I've learned, I think, this past year, especially, that healing or any shifts or anything cannot be from a fire hose, dude. They have to be from an old, crusty, amazing faucet that is just one drip at a time.
I love that.
I love that. I love that for me. It keeps me healthy. I'm not sick. I'm here for my kids.
Perfect. So then last, we're going to build our prosciutto like fans. We'll do a couple of these. You're going to leave it on the paper to start.
All right.
So you're going to take this and you're just going to fold it in half. Some nice and fatty. Holds really well because of that. And then now we take it off the paper. And then you just take it and you just fold it together, fold it together, fold it together. And now you have like a little like
Oh. And then just
there you go.
squeeze it together.
Just squeeze it together. This is also like therapeutic.
Yes, very.
I feel like I started this during COVID and I got so good at it because I just was like, just fold some meat.
What else is there?
Really? What else was there to do at that time? Kind of getting into being held and like heaviness of just like everyday life. When are the times when you feel the most held, and like when are times when you feel like that weight the heaviest on like your chest?
Yeah, I mean, especially this past year, so cheesy, but my partner has just seen me be at a place of depression this year where not even like the love of our children could get me out of bed sometimes. That's huge. Like that. When I say that, and if you know me, you know that I could not help anything, right? Like everything is out of my control. And she allowed me to rest. And she allowed me to say, it's okay, stay in bed. Like, it's okay. Like, what do you need? Do you need water? Lights on, lights off, curtains on, curtains off. Like, and she just gave me that space. And although it felt like it was really large amounts of space, maybe I traveled through dimensions during that time, but it was really just what I needed and not anything that would disrupt long-term our family. But it was just by being seen like that. With all my identities just split out, right? And I think that what holds, I think, the hardest is when I have to really navigate or deal with the tension of individual healing versus collective healing. We talked about boundaries. All that gets meshed into that. And I think that I'm learning more that it's okay that individual healing is embedded inside a bigger container of collective healing, and it's not one or the other. Like lately, I can't even say self-care.
I don't even know what self-care
It
is.
has like it's become like a kind of like a yucky taste in my mouth.
I feel like it's like trendy.
Yeah, it's trendy. It's something that I have to check off, right? As opposed to like what is it that I need more or less at this particular second of my life?
Mm.
Whether water, a hug, a podcast, I need to go get a beer with it, like whatever it is. I think that is how we take care of each other. And I think that's why I say proximity. If we're proximate with each other, you can't help but learn what each other's needs are, what each other's values are. And if they're changing, shit, the world is changing. People are getting murdered on the streets, our friends are getting snatched and separated. Our values are going to shift a little bit. Our tactics are going to shift a little bit. And so we have to constantly, our needs are going to shift. So we have to constantly just be checking in. And it doesn't have to be like, I love me some retreats, but we don't have to spend 48 hours together, right? It can just be like the integrity and quality of the proximity that I think is like the little drip.
Yeah, I think sometimes I'll even just be in the same space as somebody who just has good energy. I don't like need much more. I just need like your energy. And like there's other times where I'm in space of people who just have shitty energy and I'm like, I can't be in this room anymore. Like I gotta get out. And I think this year has been like very eye-opening in that sense. And things that have been so heavy for me are things that I can't control. And this year, there's so much like uncertainty, so much lack of control. One person saying this, another person saying that. Being in the industry, like the food industry, which you also understand, because you also have 10 different businesses. Um, but having that where it's like this industry is completely shifting, it's completely changing the way that we used to be able to show up and how we need to show up. I feel like a lot of these shifts were so needed before. I felt like a lot of food workers were taken for granted.
100%.
And people weren't able to really understand one, the amount of work, time, and energy that goes into like making a meal for somebody, but also they didn't respect it. And so now it's like after COVID specifically, but then now there's all these other things people are asking for like what they deserve. And that means that cost goes up, right? And it's just being able to be around people who understand, who get it, and just like sit in it with you sometimes is like all I need.
Yeah.
Um versus like yeah, like a big retreat. Although I will say like going on retreats do help.
I do. Like I love me some retreats. We just took one. So it was great.
Yeah.
But that also comes with a privilege.
Yes. Huge privilege.
Huge privilege, right? And so what can we do, like you said?
I mean, I have this gigantic vision. So I'm just gonna put it out there. But I was on this retreat that I led last week. And as I was like sitting there, I'm like, I've been in a lot of cohorts, right? And they're always like this 6-week program, this
Yeah.
12-week program. And I'm like, what if there was a cohort that was literally like 4 days and it was literally a retreat where you got to leave the everyday like shit
Yeah.
to have like a restart. And I think like it is a privilege to be able to leave and go and do a retreat. The house we were in was like right on the water. It was like even just being able to I had one person who like every morning she started her morning off dancing on the beach and ended every night dancing on the beach. And she was like, I've never had this opportunity before. And we made I didn't charge people for the retreat. We just got the house and I like led it. And it just giving people that opportunity who've never had that opportunity was like I'm like we can change like the way that people show up for themselves
Yeah.
in 4 days. we don't need 12 weeks for it.
No.
Because most of these people have never taken this time for themselves.
Never.
Never.
Not 1 day, 4 days alone. Like, I think that they're halfway through the point, some people might be like, what do I do with myself?
There were definitely moments where people were like, okay, this feels weird. This is interesting. And the way that we actually did this too was like, I made it half family vacation, half retreat.
Nice.
And so during the day it was a retreat, and at night I was like, Mom. But I think like it was really nice and really empowering to be able to lead a retreat that was so powerful during the day and then lead a family at night.
To me, that's a perfect way that, to me, like, that seems like an integrated woman. Like, you get to be all of your stuff, right? Like, all of your identities, all your parts are in the forefront, and celebrated, and they're not necessarily competing.
Mm-hmm. So now that we have everything good, we're just gonna start building it. Okay. So I try to put the bigger things on there. So we put the rose on there, and then we can add like our cheeses. So our manchego, and you can do like different things or like turn it different ways, however you want.
Nice. Do I put this in there?
Yeah, put some cheddar right there.
Okay.
And then we'll put our other big cheese over here. Then let's grab the kiwis, maybe put one there, one over here. The goal is symmetry.
Got it.
So a little bit on that side, a little bit on this side.
And then the same with this guy.
The oranges.
Right?
Yeah, sometimes I like putting them next to each other to just change it up a little bit.
Like facing out?
Well, if you like stack them on top of each other like this, it creates like dimension. So see how you have that like dimension. And then the goal now is just really to start filling in the spots, right? So we'll move this. See, sometimes I'll put like the pickles straight on the board.
Yeah.
And cornichons, but sometimes people don't like them, so it's nice keeping them in a little container. And then the goal is just to like start filling it. So now taking your berries and kind of just putting like a few here, a few over here, a few over here. Oh, we forgot our prosciutto. And just kind of filling in the holes. Like there really isn't a huge method to this.
Mm-hmm. Just fill it up.
I just like filling it in. And everybody does something different. It's so funny when I teach these classes because like we used to be like, and this is how you do it. And then you'd walk around and it's like everybody's doing their own thing. I'm not even gonna try anymore. Sometimes with the strawberries, it's nice when you take them and you just cut them in half. So
long ways like this?
Yeah, just like that. Gives it a different texture again.
Mm-hmm.
So you can do things like
put it in the middle.
That. Put like another one over there. And then really, there's all of these holes. So we want to get all of the good stuff and really fill it up. Truly, I think it needs to happen. That's my goal by the end of the year.
It does. I think it should be part of like the mom tax, you know, like the mom benefit through the government. We get like a retreat.
Yeah, I think it's like a little bit of I feel like also because I have little like kids, right? And I don't think this just happens with moms with like little kids, but we lose ourselves so much in like momming. But even when you have like a newer business, I lost myself so much in my business. And what everybody wanted me to be was what I thought I needed to be.
Yeah.
And the reality was like, that wasn't serving me. It wasn't making me feel good. You talked a little bit about like how you had moments of like depression where it's like you couldn't get out of bed. And I feel that so deeply. And there's so many moments where I'm just like, the only reason I do is because I don't have anybody else here. So my husband doesn't live here. So there are times where my kids, like, you have to get up. Like, my 9-year-old is so parentified because of moments like that, right? Of like, Mom, you got to get out of bed. I got to be at school in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And as a parent, sometimes it's like, the fact that my 9-year-old's holding space for me is like, it makes me a little sad.
Oh,
Um,
it makes me like admire you even more. You're teaching another human how to hold space for another human.
he's incredible at it. But I think those are like the moments where you're like, as a mom, you feel like, why can't I just get it together? And everybody sees the parts of like, Kay doesn't. She deals with a lot of shit, but she's good, like I have been a little bit more open about it on social media this year of just like having moments where I'm breaking down. Um, but it's not, they don't really get the break. They get the right before the break or right after. But he's so good at holding space for me, and like my 9-year-old holds me so good. And like even like simple things like right before bed, he always checks to make sure my water cup is full because that's something that his dad does when he's around. Um, he's like, I will do anything for you. Um, so I'm sorry to his wife. In what, 20 years, she's gonna be like, you're such a mama's boy, but like,
But so attentive.
yeah, so attentive. He's really good about like, how do you feel, mom? Tell me how you're feeling right now. Um, but it's definitely interesting to have those dynamics of like that's generational because my mom was a single parent and I held so much space for her, and I think that's why it makes me sad because I know how much like that wasn't my responsibility.
Yeah.
And so I don't want to put that responsibility on my son. Um and I want to change things. I want things to be different. But it's
Yeah.
hard sometimes.
It's fucking hard. It was so funny because I was talking to my therapist. I see this beautiful woman of color somatic therapist every other week. And I'm like, oh, why is this healing so fucking hard, Taylor? She's like, it's fucking hard. So like 5 minutes we screamed about how fucking hard it was. And that felt so good. It felt amazing. But yeah, it is so hard. It's so funny because I have a 14-year-old who I see that I've passed a lot of these things to her that I not necessarily liked about my childhood or my upbringing, right? And so it she's inspired me to be like more patient, more presence, even to say like she's so determined. She gets all that from her other mother. She gets her charm from me. She gets her intellect from her though. And she's just like a muse in where I have to like really make myself see her for who she is. She's not mine. She's just like this child that I get the privilege to witness front row seats on who she is because my parents being first gen immigrant, they controlled a lot. Like you're gonna go to college, you're gonna do this, you're gonna do this. They couldn't see me at that time. So she's inspired that to see me. And then our 8-year-old son, of course, is like, would you like your water with abundant and generous ice? Well,
I love the words, the vocab, abundant, generous. I love that.
he's a caretaker as well, like your 9-year-old.
I love
It's so beautiful. Yeah. So they're both just to see them as individuals has been, I think, also part of the medicine that helps me realize like number one, oh, they're gonna be okay. Number one, they can handle this shit. Number two, I don't have to have a perfect life for them. Number three, I can be a messy mom sometimes. Number four, how we laughed out loud, like belly hard, like, and you just think of all that, and that's in flow. But it does require us to be like ourselves.
Yeah.
I'm present, right? Which is the work.
Which is like, that's why it's like the whole like, well, if you balance stuff, it's just like, it's bullshit.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense. Like, there's no part of life that is balanced. There's no part of life that's not messy. And I think like the moment I was like unbalanced and unbothered, I was just, even my kids say it now, like, oh, my mom's unbalanced and unbothered. Because I had those like moments. But I think it's just like I was talking to somebody and he was like, you're unbalanced, unbothered, but unstoppable. And it was just like, it just like, I was like, oh, yes, I am like, having that moment of clarity in that. But also what other people perceive. And I think that's really like sometimes hearing it from other people's perspective kind of just puts it in perspective for yourself.
People, especially people that you trust and love, and that check you sometimes, right? In a loving way. Yeah, that's why, like, I think proximity is a big word for me this year. And it's so funny, the older I get, the smaller the circle that I want to be proximate with gets, right? Very selective. And yeah, I'm looking forward to that. To that chapter of me giving 0 fucks.
Yes, to giving 0 fucks.
Yep.
That's all we need. Oh, we forgot the most important part. Chocolate.
Chocolate.
So we put toffee on our boards. Do you like toffee?
Yeah.
Try this. It's the most important part. It's so necessary. So like, I like to put it where it's not touching like a ton of stuff. And we want to keep those fun stuff showing. You like mustard? English mustard, gotta go on top of that. Because the greatest thing.
Jam. He could eat
Cornichons
and olives every day.
Oh, my son is obsessed with like the little pickles. He'll eat like a whole jar, and I'm like, that's for work, kid. So then the last thing that I always say is like garnish. No matter what your board looks like, if you add garnish to it, it's going to look incredible. So we're gonna add that. We're gonna add some honeycomb, and we're gonna add flowers.
Okay, so just stick it somewhere?
Yeah, just stick it in different places. There you go. Perfect. Honeycomb. Sometimes there's a little bigger, cut that one in half, break it in half. And also this, so take a little bit of rosemary with some of that ragged point, some of this honeycomb, and some prosciutto. So good. I love rosemary. It's not supposed to be just a garnish, but also delicious to eat. And then the last thing we're gonna do is add those flowers.
Okay, just like all over?
Yeah, and it just really... Well, you could like put them a little bit.
Where they may fall.
I mean, I like that way of going about it too. Just like we're dropping it, sprinkling it. A little abundance of flowers and generous.
Nice.
Right? And then there you go.
Boom.
Look at that.
This is an amazing gift.
For yourself.
For myself.
An important reason to stop, right? Well, we're going to give you all the little stuff too. So you can give them that box and then you take the main box.
Yeah. I'll be like, Marco, let's go to our room.
I got something to surprise you with. And then it's literally charcuterie.
Yep. It'll work.
Right? All right.
Oh, thank you so much.